we live in one of the most unchurched areas in America. I know you might be like, what? I've got a bunch of Christian friends. Like, how's that possible? We actually live in the seventh least churched area in America. Our county, Tacoma, all the way through Pierce County, is de-church. It's post-Christian. And on top of this, we live in one of the biggest declines in American history for the church. Over 40 million people have left the church in the last around 25 years. And people have left the church right when the church is needed most. And we think in this moment, our church is called and gifted to meet this moment. We have always wanted to have an impact in Pierce County where people can belong before they believe, where people are learning to be loved the way God designed them, in a way that reflects Jesus' love. And our church, I think, is uniquely called and equipped during these times to be a light in the darkness. We have some really exciting news to share with you. Check out this video. It's an exciting time in Garden City. From our partnerships with the foster care community, children's ministry, a new middle school ministry that's launching, and all the groups that are starting up. It's just so cool, and we're so grateful for what God is doing in and through our church. Now, this also highlights our excitement for getting a permanent building where all these ministries can flourish. We've been searching for a permanent place to call home for several years. And during the pandemic, we had greater amounts of people coming from all over the county. Places like Federal Way, Edgewood, Tacoma, Lakewood, Bonnie Lake, Sumner, and of course, Puyallup. To account for the growth in attendance from people from all these places and spaces around Pierce County, the search team really prioritized looking for locations that had great regional access. Our search team looked at over 30 buildings in Puyallup, Sumner, South Hill, and Tacoma, and we faced a lot of challenges along the way. COVID, rising material costs, rising interest rates, and so much more. But through it all, we believed that God would provide a place for us. And we believe He has. And it is beautiful. Located in the historic Stadium District on the green of Wright Park in Tacoma, this building offers easy access to Pierce County and enables us to actualize our vision and values in some new and creative ways, amplifying our ability to be love in our communities and create a space where people can belong before they believe 7 days a week. We imagine bringing the building back to life for services as a hub for the community, allowing us to have an amazing space for our kids and next-gen ministries, continued growth of community partnerships, a community coffee shop, and meetups and activities in the beautiful Wright Park. Here are some key ways you can help make this a reality. Pray and give. Pray for God's wisdom and guidance at each step of this process. And then give. This is a major moment in the life of our church. It will require faith and generosity. I'm thrilled to invite you to be part of a legacy moment. This journey isn't possible without your financial gifts, offerings, and prayers. We will always be a place that helps people move toward Jesus on their spiritual journey, to help people bloom where they are planted and bring flourishing to our neighborhoods and communities. I am so excited about this moment and the potential of this building. The best is yet to come. This is big news for our church, and I just want to share a little bit of the story about how this opportunity materialized, a snapshot of the timeline, where we're at, and then what we envision could happen through this building, and a few next steps. And before I jump into the story, I do want to let you know we have not purchased the building yet. We're in what's called a feasibility period. And so I'll explain a little bit more about that later. But over the years, our church has been on this journey that brought us from a lot of block parties and really cool missional community work out in the Graham area at Frederickson Elementary School. We moved from there about 12 miles into Puyallup High School. Then we moved from PHS to the station house, and probably a lot of you remember that. We have great memories there. And then we moved from the station house to Farm 12. And we were so excited. A lot of good things were happening. And then a pandemic hit, and we found ourselves without a building in the middle of the pandemic. And that's when we found Cascade, and that's where we currently are at. And we're so grateful for that. But we've been on a long journey. Between the station house and moving to Farm 12, our church actually bought just shy of 8 acres. And this property that we bought, we had a vision to build on it, and we were so excited. And then a pandemic hit, and that changed everything about the complexion of our world, our church, and with the property and a potential building. Material costs went up, interest rates went up. It became clear during that time the best stewardship would be to look for a permanent building. We see God's hand in helping that purchase as a really good investment for our church's future. But the story of the search is this: we began searching, and we've been searching for the last 2.5 to 3 years, and it's been long and arduous in some ways. And we've walked through over 30 buildings. And just to put that in context, I have a friend in commercial real estate who's like, it's not like homes. There's a lot of homes that come out every day and every month, and there can only be sometimes 1 to 2 options every few months when you're talking about commercial property. So we walked through a lot of potential properties. And as we were looking, we had some real close moments where we thought we were close. We had some heartbreakers. We had just a long search. And there were moments where like, man, God, are you going to open something for us? As the market was scarce, we also, during the pandemic, we saw a really cool change in the complexion of our church. We saw more and more people coming from around the whole region, around all of Pierce County, people from Federal Way, Edgewood, Lakewood, Tacoma, and of course, Bonnie Lake, Puyallup, and South Hill. But we were just seeing more and more people coming from different places. And so we decided to expand our scope in our search for a building. We expanded beyond just the Puyallup and Sumner area. We actually extended from Sumner, Puyallup to Tacoma, and really prioritizing places that had great access, that were well connected to the highways and byways, so people could get to a potential building with ease. And then this building hit the market. And since this building hit the market, we've been getting green lights the whole way through. Where we were getting a lot of red lights in some other places and other buildings, we just kept getting green lights. Everything from our leaders just getting onto the campus. Everybody who has set foot on it just has a feeling like this could be such a great place. And it's surprising for us too, because we weren't expecting this place in this building in this area to come up. And so we've been in a process of really looking and discovering, is this the place that God is opening up? And so far, we keep getting green lights. So I just want to take a moment to invite you to church this Sunday, December 17th. After church, we're going to be having a town hall meeting where you can hear more about the story of the green lights and what we're looking forward to, and what we're looking for as a community, and also a time to ask questions and have response. And here's where we're at in the story so far. Right now, we're in a 45-day feasibility period, and this is where it's a discovery period to work through this all being feasible. And so that's what we're looking for. Are there red lights we haven't seen yet? And just continuing to go through the process. And then we have a 15-day period to finalize financing for a total of 60 days to figure out, all of these things, including some fundraising. And at the end of the 60 days, that's when the purchase would go through. Now, the building does need work. There are deferred maintenance, repairs, and renovations needed. And if we keep getting green lights with feasibility and adequate fundraising for the purchase to go through, we envision a first phase and for repairs and renovations, and a second phase. In the coming weeks, we're going to be gaining greater clarity on those timelines and next steps. So I want to encourage you to stay tuned. We'll keep you updated. We can't give a complete month picture, when are we going to get in there, but we're discovering that right now, and we'll keep you updated. Now, of course, we will be paying attention for any red lights, but we thought now was the time to bring the larger congregation, you, into this opportunity and this journey. So you can be praying with us, helping us raise funds to make this happen. Now, a few questions might be coming to mind. One question might be, man, I feel like I found a safe spiritual home, a spiritual family, and I'm worried it feels like it might be changing or leaving. How's Garden City going to care for its people with this transition? You may be really excited about this news, or you may have some maybe sadness or grief or just some worry about change, or you might be carrying both excitement and some worry at the same time. And that's okay. Places and spaces that we have spiritual family in, that we meet with, they have significant spiritual meaning in our lives. And although we're filled with hope and expectancy about the next chapter of our church, it's normal and okay to have mingled emotions and to maybe be expressing some grief. We're going to make space for both of these emotions, the excitement and then some of the worry and maybe grief. Those things aren't something that we're going to run past. I had someone say to me that, man, we're so grateful you've created this place of belonging and healing. And that was a great compliment. But the truth is this: we have created a place of belonging, healing, and safety together as a community. And we're in this impermanent rental space. We're thankful for it, but it's not permanent. And we're excited to be able to build an even greater expression of belonging, healing, and safety with more real permanence together as a church family. Also, we have a great plan to support our strong foundation and presence in the Puyallup Valley by building a strong hub, coordinating community connections, events, and community service. Examples of this are using spaces like the 3 Coffee Shop for like men's and women's events. You may have been to one of those. Or the annual Guac Off at Mike Rab's. That's still on. Launching more home groups. Also continuing service projects and partnerships in the area like the One Child Christmas Party. We're going to be continuing those things. We're not going anywhere. We've got such an incredible foundation. We're going to continue building on that, even as we look toward the future. Let me just share a little of what we envision happening through this building for the community. First, it could be such an amazing impact on next gen and youth. We care so much about that. Our children's has doubled the last, year. But this building is within a 5-mile radius. There are 20,000 college students. This building also lies at the center of like a major hub for our the whole of Pierce County. And we imagine being able to step up our work supporting the foster care community in this place. And then we're going to be building out the whole downstairs area to devote to next gen and youth. And we just imagine being able to do so much through that, not only for our church, but for the community. So we're excited about that. We imagine also having a really incredible performing arts venue. We can do all kinds of concerts, and you can have storytelling events and cultural and community events. We can have fundraising events for things that we care about as a community. So there's just so many possibilities for families. Imagine walking out in the summer and taking your kids to the splash pad or the park. And I think there's lawn bowling. There's all kinds of things to do at this park. It's amazing. If you're single, there's some great date spots in the area. There's just some incredible things that we envision happening in this space. We also envision this to be an incredible space for spiritual formation, classes and learning, incredible place to host workshops like life skill workshops for the community. And really, this beautiful building in this beautiful garden park with our church, Garden City, we just see such an incredible matching of some of the needs in Tacoma and the heart that we have in our church for people to belong before they believe and to learn to become love. the way God has designed them to. And it's just so exciting. And we don't want to see this moment pass us by. We don't want to miss it. We want to give it our best shot to see this happen. So I want to invite you into that journey. So here's a few next steps for you to think about. First is, again, the town hall meeting, December 17th, next Sunday, right after church. We'll be having this town hall to go over questions that you might have and just to take time to listen and to have a response to whatever you might be feeling or thinking. Second, prayer. Pray for wisdom and faith, both for the leaders, for myself, but also for you and your closest friends that are part of this church community. It's so important that we're approaching all of this with prayer together and that we really follow God's guidance. Third, skilled help. If you have skills or know of someone that has skills that might be helpful in this process that we're going through, would you fill out a Connect card or would you message us online? And as those needs become clear to our team, they can reach out to you. Lastly, capital campaign. Be praying about giving toward a capital campaign that we're putting together for this legacy moment, this opportunity. The capital campaign will go towards paying down the mortgage, renovations, for things like building a phenomenal children's area. Last year our kids doubled. We've been really growing in that area. So it's going to go toward repairs for things like that to get us in that building and get us rolling. We've never had our own space to build out and fit us and what we care about. We'll be laying all that out in a capital campaign over the next few weeks. More info is to come. Please stay tuned. I'm so grateful for all of you. I love you so much. This is a legacy moment.